What's up, guys? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're out in the shop tonight. We're going to give it a minute to breathe and yeah, get our folks in here. Did a little bit of shopping today, and got something in the mail that we want to share. So we will get into that. Get the comments opened up here. Good evening. Give me a wave if you're out there. I see a couple of you. Yeah, I picked up a couple things today. Me and Pop went to the big city. Yeah, had to make a trip to the Lowe's and Harbor Freight. Dangerous place for a guy like us. Guy like me, like us. I assume you guys are the same way. But yeah, I picked up a couple things I needed. Give me just a minute here. I'm trying to get a couple things lined up. Yeah. How are y'all doing tonight? Let me know if y'all can hear that rain in the background. And is it too loud? And is it too loud? Mute that. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure something out real quick before we start. Can't hear any rain. Cool. It's loud to me in here right now, but I'm glad that you can't hear it. So tell me something good while I finish up trying to get this thing working right here. Okay, well, I guess we can't do that. Let's see. Huh. All right. Yeah, let me close this out. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Skip Trot, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a few. Looked like there was a few people out there doing some live streams tonight, so I popped into a few of the channels and said, "Hey, what's up?" Want everybody to be successful in their efforts on the YouTube or whatever it is. I sure enjoy talking to you guys. And yeah, been a minute. Been a minute. There we go. Work trips. Yeah. You get a little bit of time off now? Oh, I've got my light here. I ordered, I had to order a new one. This is one of my favorite lights. They, you can tilt them down. And so when you're working at the bench, you can get a little extra light. And they sell them in 2-packs now. So you could double it up and really get some light on something. Good, man. Good deal. It's always nice to get a little bit of time off and do some things that you want to do. I've had jobs before where, you know, you work for weeks straight away from home, and man, it's make good money, but it's you got to live life too. Gotta live life too. So I think in the thumbnail I showed this little snap off IM31A. I ordered the rebuild kit for it. Um, it had lost its chooch factor on account of I guess the hammer, what do you call it, hammer needle had snapped off. So got a full rebuild kit, got all new parts for it. Um, I'm waiting on one more thing for it, and we'll make a video putting that back together. There is a video uh, where we take that apart. Not a whole lot to it really, um, but it's a good idea to kind of video it, and that way you know how it goes back together once you're ready to do that. So yeah, here in just a minute, I'm going to show you some of the stuff I picked up today, and maybe you'll see something that you like. Um, yeah, sorry, I'm distracted by this thing. I'm trying to get to work right, but doesn't want to work for me. Okay, let's jump into uh, let's see. You know what? Let me pull up this guy's eBay where I ordered the parts from for that snap-on. He does. He's got all kinds of rebuild kits for these deals. The old snap-on impacts and stuff like that. And I actually had to reach out to him today because I had a question for him. And let me make sure there's, yeah, okay, we can do that. I had a question for him. He got right back to me and was really helpful. So let me share that. Um, onto the screen for you. Here we go. So this is a guy here. Man, he's got everything that you need for these old snap-on impacts and stuff. New gaskets, bearings, needles, the whole kit and caboodle, and priced pretty well. Now I know somebody's gonna say, "Man, Snap-on, it's got a lifetime warranty." Look, I don't have an account with Snap-on. I don't. I bought a few tools back when I worked at a certain business, and the Snap-on truck would come by, and I go on there and buy, something little. Um, but like, I don't have a relationship with our local Snap-on guy, so for me to go on there and want to warranty a impact that's 50 years old, you know, I'd rather just $38 rebuild kit, and you get to take it apart and put it back together here on the YouTube. So it's kind of a learning experience. Pretty neat to see how they go back together and how all that works. So go check out him if you need Snap-on parts. Snap-on, obsolete, Restomod, Air Tools. Got good ratings, and like I say, he got right back to me when I reached out to him. So, um, yeah, let's dig into a couple things that I picked up at the Harbor Freight today. And there's one big thing that, man, I've really been itching to get, and I've been putting it off and putting it off, but I finally bit the bullet and did it. And I know I'm gonna be glad I did it because it's been a thorn in my side for years, uh, decades. So we'll get to that. So the first thing is the wire pliers rack, just to organize kind of some of the pliers in our new five drawer toolbox. You know, like these all these old crescent wrenches and snips and needle nose. Just kind of lay them out a little bit better with the old rack. And I don't think this was very expensive, maybe $10 or something like that. But just a little bit of organization. So we'll be messing with that tomorrow, getting that set up. Um, I needed a new air gauge. I've had the worst run of luck with air gauges lately. Um, this one's probably not the best one in the world, but I needed at least one that was close enough. Got that, and then my air chuck was plumb wore out, so I picked up another air chuck. Let me know, Merlin. I haven't ever bought any of their stuff, so let me know what y'all's experience is with it. If you've had good luck with the Merlin stuff. So that's another thing. We picked up a new grinder the other day at a yard sale for $20. Came with that nice beefy stand, and of course I've got two other grinders over here. So the idea is to have a variety of different wheels available. And so I picked up one of these flat sanding wheels. It's like a 80 grit. I figured that'd be pretty handy to have on one of them. So we'll get that put on probably tomorrow. And here's another thing that it's just one of those things that kind of drives you crazy sometimes. Like you'll have this long bolt and um, it's long-winded, right? And you got to thread the nut on there. And if you're just using a regular wrench, you're it's just it's a struggle, right? So I went ahead and picked up just a cheap set of the ratcheting wrenches. Now, I mean, you can feel a difference in the mechanism between these, and I forget what the next step up was, and then of course the icons. But man, these are like less than $20 a set, and I'm not a mechanic, so I don't use these every single day. But man, there's definitely times when I'm like, gosh, I wish I had a set of ratcheting wrenches. So I went ahead and picked up some in the US and in the metrical. Um, for the price of them, and like I say, I don't use them that often, but they'll be nice to have in the drawer. If you've used these Pittsburgh ratcheting wrenches, let me know what your experience has been with them. Um, like I say, less than 20 bucks a set. Yeah, they're. I think they'll be fine for what I'm doing. Of course, if you're a guy that was a full-time mechanic, you may want to step up to the icons. But for me, um, it'd be nice to have some ratcheting wrenches. I'll tell you that. And the last thing that has absolutely driven me crazy for years, and I should have done this a long time ago, is my air hose. It's one of these old rubber Goodyear, and they have like the memory of an elephant. So you got 50 foot of this, and you go to wrap it back up and hang it on the front of the air compressor, and it just it just drives you crazy. I hope my feed is coming through okay with that rain. Let me know if it's not. But yeah, so the solution I could have done. I could have done a couple things. I could have gotten one of the lay flat hoses that they sell there. They're like, I don't know, 35, 40 bucks for a 50 footer. But they had 25% off on the retractable job, right? This big guy here. And man, for the price, being able to just give that hose a pull and let her rip right back to where she's supposed to go. Um, that's just one of those little things in life that can make you happy. And so, yeah, I bit the bullet today and got one of these. And I'm gonna got to figure out where I'm gonna put it in the shop. But man, I am super excited to have that because I've been fighting air hose in my shop for decades, absolutely decades. So yeah, we're glad to have that thing, and hopefully it holds up. We got a decent warranty on it, and 25% off. Ghost says retractable hose reels are great. Need to get one myself. This one, I think retail. I think retail was 89 on it. Uh, they had 25% off coupon, and I know those things don't always last forever. So I went ahead and bought the $15 2-year warranty on it, and I'll write on the side of it when that warranty goes out, so that I know when it gives up the ghost, then we'll just take it back to the Harbor Freight and get us a brand new one. But yeah, you guys know, um, fighting an air hose every time you have to get it out, and then it's laying all over the shop and you're tripping on it and all that crap. So um, yeah, I'm stoked about this. It's the little things in life like that, man, that can really make you happy. And why be frustrated? Like, go ahead and it's not that much money. And when you're out in the shop as much as we are, um, go ahead and make your life just a little bit easier. You know, one little thing like that can make life better. So yeah, you guys let me know if you've used these Pittsburgh ratcheting ratchets. Are they garbage? I mean, for 20 bucks for a set, I think they're worth trying out. At least give them a whirl. The next step up was I think they were like 89 bucks, and and then the icons were like 150. These were $20. So for a home gamer like me, I'm gonna try these $20 jobs first and see how they do. And hey, if they're hot garbage, I'll take them back and we'll try something else. And but yeah, the mechanism. I don't know if you guys can hear it. It's kind of sloppy, and but we'll see. We'll see how they go. I know man. There's been so many times when I'm like, yeah, gummit. I wish I had a ratcheting wrench right now. So we'll see. We'll see how those go. Um, man, when we were at Lowe's today, I couldn't believe the prices on some of the battery stuff. Gosh, they had 20 amp, uh, not 20 amp, uh, 20 volt Craftsman. You get a 20-volt Craftsman drill driver and impact driver for $99, which is wild, man. You know what these companies are doing? They want you to buy into their battery system. So, like, they pretty much give you the tool for free, but they want to get you on their battery system. So, I guess it's a good time in life to pick a battery system. And I don't have a lot of battery powered tools, really. I've got a 20-volt um, staple gun that I picked up used. I think I paid like $20 for it. Came with a 4 amp hour battery, and this thing's great, man. Shoots some good staples. And I was at a garage sale the other day, and I bought a couple bags of fasteners, and there just happened to be a bunch of different size staples for this. It was probably, I think we figured several hundreds of dollars worth of fasteners in that bag at the garage sale, and I think I paid $15 for 2 big bags full of that stuff. So yeah, one of the things I hate is having to go into the hardware store and buy hardware because it's so expensive. It's crazy. And man, if you look around at garage sales and yard sales and um, flea markets and stuff like that, you'll see that stuff for nothing. So I always keep my eyes peeled for things like that. The one other thing I bought while I was at the Harbor Freight is this magnet strip, for like hanging tools and such on, and we can throw that over there on the box and just be able to hang some kind of miscellaneous type stuff. So get this thing turned around here. Yeah, if you haven't been by the channel in a while, I traded for this 5-drawer Blue Point, and Blue Point's kind of the lower end Snap-on, not made in the USA Snap-on stuff, but it's a good box. I mean, I think it was 7 years old, but man, it cleaned up really well. And new, I think they sell for like $1,700, and I got it for way, way less than that. I got it about what you pay for one of those Harbor Freight 5 drawers. Um, I think those sell for less than $300 now. So if you need a 5-drawer, man, the Harbor Freight 5 drawers, a fine option. Uh, they've stepped up their game over there at Harbor Freight. They're for home gamers, or if you're a guy just starting out. We were talking about this the other day. Like if you're a young man and you're just getting into the trades, and I saw this in the auto world. New techs, they would come in, and man, right off the hop, they're just knee deep in debt because they went out and bought all this new Snap-on Mac and all that stuff. And yeah, nothing wrong with Blue Point brand. Yeah, I think they probably are. They're probably most of them, especially coming out of China, made in the same factory. Um, I was looking at the boxes they had at Lowe's today, and they're nice. And you don't, man, you don't have to spend. I don't know. Some of those Snap-on boxes are crazy, crazy expensive. But yeah, young guys that are just getting into the trades, man, go buy used tools or go to Harbor Freight and you know get you some money put away before you get in debt. Like, don't start out knee deep in debt because it'll just make you stressed out. And I promise you, man, you can find tools for pennies on the dollar at yard sales and garage sales. And I'm just like everybody else. I like new tools, um, but I also like finding really good deals on tools, and that's the way to do it, man. Go to estate sales, go to yard sales. You almost, man, I'd say probably at least 80% of the tools in my shop I picked up used. You know, for a cheap box, we go to Northern Tool, U.S. General for your service departments. Yeah, those U.S. General boxes. I, I bought the little one um, that they sell at the Harbor Freight, and I was surprised at how well that box was made. I mean, they had the one at Lowe's, the Cobalt, but the difference is that U.S. General, it actually has ball bearings. I mean, it. I was impressed for a little $15 box. I use it to when I come home and empty out my pockets. It gives me a place to set my keys and my wallet, my knife, and all the stuff that I carry. And I just set it in that box there. And I think it's handy as bee's knees. And everybody that I've showed it to, and they want one. Everybody that's looked at that little box is like, I want one of those. So if you need some Christmas gift ideas, man, give them one of those little 2 drawer U.S. General mini boxes, man. they're, they're awesome. Y'all let me know what's a cool tool you bought lately. I want to hear. Charlene says skill profile pic and your Tumblr are matching. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I got the don't tread on me. Yeah, keeping the ice cold. But yeah, when I worked in the automotive industry, um, man, some of those guys they're just starting out and they're you know $10,000 or more in debt on tools, and man, you just don't need to do it. Not starting out. And like I said the other day, like if you're a mechanic and you're going to be using you know a 3/8 impact a lot, or you need a good ratchet, get you a good one. Whatever tool is going to be in your hand all the time. Like if you're a framer, get you a good hammer, right? But a lot of that stuff, uh, get you something cheaper to start out and build your way up. Because you'll meet guys that are getting out of the business and they want to, sell off their tools, and that's the way to do it. Uh, when I was younger, I bought new tools too. Of course, we're in a small town, so really our choice was Sears. And the one good thing about Sears back then though was that they would put stuff on clearance and do big discounts. I think when I bought my other boxes over there, the Craftsmans, I probably paid half price for them. I mean, they were. I bet there's not $500 in both those boxes. Of course, that was many years ago. And yeah, there's tape on the front because Pop retired and he's kind of works out of my shop now, and it's easier for him to find stuff if everything's labeled. I mean, even in the cabinets where I've got, you know, air tools and routers and all that stuff, I just labeled each box. You know, tap and die set, uh, sander box, router box, things like that. Just makes it easier for him. You know how it is when you walk into somebody else's shop. Like I can tell you where everything is in here because I put it there. But when you're working on something and trying to find a certain tool in somebody else's shop, it's tough. Um, Now this box, I didn't label this. 'Cause it's pretty easy to find what you're looking for. And this box here, this holds like what I use 95% of the time. This 5 drawer box. And I'm not just a mechanic, I'm not just a woodworker, I'm not, you know, I do it all. So there's this box holds stuff to do everything. I mean, and I still got to add a few things. I was thinking, hey man, what is up, brother? Yeah, we're just talking tools. We got some. Went to the Harbor Freight today, man, and picked up a couple things that I've been wanting for a while. One was some ratcheting wrenches, and I just got the cheap Pittsburgh jobs, you know, because I'm not a mechanic. I'm not going to be turning these all day, every day. But sometimes, man, you want a ratcheting wrench. It just makes life easier. So we're going to give these a try. And if you've used them before, let me know because I want to find out what's y'all's opinion on those. Surrender, what's up, brother? Good to see you in the chat. Joe says, I have a lot of Snap-on tools and Matco tools, and the hand tools made today are of great quality. You're paying for the name on those tool truck brands. Yeah, and the warranty. But I guess like the Icon stuff from Harbor Freight has a lifetime warranty, doesn't it? Uh, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, hey, if I can afford it and I can do it, and like I want to buy American, I do, but sometimes it's hard to do. Um, like, well, like one tools that I do spend some money on is like these Knipex pliers, man, and Harbor Freight's got a version of these now that are fairly uh, fairly cheaper. Um, I don't know if they're as good. If y'all have used the Harbor Freight versions, let me know down in the chat. But Knipex, I've got 5 or 6 of their tools, and they are all excellent. Excellent. Yeah, Harbor Freight rocks. Hey, it's I was I was joking with somebody in line today because I saw a guy. He was checking out, and he only had one thing. I was like, "How do you do that? How do you go into Harbor Freight and walk out with one thing?" I mean, is this guy like got some kind of unworldly tunnel vision? I can't do it. Every time I go into Harbor Freight, I walk out with a basket full of stuff. Oh man, yeah, y'all that are just joining. A couple other things we picked up there today. Um, got one of the big magnetic bars. Um, got a wire pliers rack. Gonna try to organize the old 5 drawer here a little bit better. It's got plenty of room for, like I say, about 95% of what I use on a day-to-day basis. Um, Knipex is my favorite. I think it should be Knipex, but there's always gonna be somebody out there that tells you it's Knipex. But yeah, man, their stuff it's awesome. Um, I've got their utility blade. It's cool. You can run it out with just the blade, or if you need to stiffen it up, it's got that backer that you can run out to. So they make some good stuff. I mean, Knipex makes some good stuff. Their twin grips, I love the twin grips. And I've got these live on my hip now. The little 6-inch, the 150s. That's my part of my EDC now, for sure. I Growing up in the country, you always see ranchers and farmers that have uh, slip joint pliers. They carry them on their hip, and once you do, you understand why, because you end up using them all the time. So, and I had this little sheath. This was my late father-in-law's, and he had a pair of slip joints in there. And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna try that out. But I wanted the Knipex, so I ordered the 6-inch to fit in there, and I love it. Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, and also those of you that just popped in, we got we've been fighting with the air hose in the shop for decades now, and this is 50 foot, and every time you go to try to roll it back up, hang it on the front of your compressor, it just aggravates the tar out of me. And so I bit the bullet today, and I got me one of these, brother. Yeah, the old retractor job, and it was on sale. So normally they're like $89. Um, but the manager said, "Hey, we got 25% discount on those today." So I went ahead and grabbed one because, man, I'm getting older, and I'm tired of that little stuff that aggravates you like that. And having a hose laid across your shop, just one of those things. So, uh, doesn't take much to get this old guy excited anymore. Yeah. Air hose retractor made me happy, happy. So, yeah. Um, yeah, in the firearm stuff, man, Monday, we're gonna have an epic stream. It is gonna be really, really cool. My buddy George McAllister from RSA, he's got a factory inland M1 carbine cutaway. There's like 50 of them out there, and man, the one he's got is nice. So we're gonna look at that and talk about that. And then I got another guy who has a Remington prototype yellow hammer. Um, I think they made 5 of them total, and he's got one of them. So we're going to look at that and talk with him, and the story about how he got it, and he even got a magazine for it, which was a whole nother cool story. So yeah, Monday, 6 Central, we're gonna have a really cool live stream. George McAllister from RSA, Mike Baker from Texas Gun Collectors Association is going to be there too, and I think uh, haven't confirmed this yet, but I believe uh, Nick from Houston Gun Collectors Association is going to jump on there with us too. Uh-oh, looks like lost me there for just a second. We're gonna have a really cool show on Monday at 6 Central. So mark that on the calendar because we want you in the chat on that one. Really gonna be cool. Is my feed coming through okay? Because we got a little rain shower going on, and the Starlink works great all the time unless we get a real heavy storm coming through. But yeah, Starlink is the bee's knees if you live out in the country and you want wicked fast internet. So what else is going on, guys? Um, we've been working on this whole snap off IM31A. Got the rebuild kit ordered for it, and I'll pull this guy's eBay store back up because he's been really good to work with. And if you've got an old Snap-on Impact, go check out his store. Got great pictures, descriptions. Um, yeah, you'll find what you need over there. And I emailed him or messaged him today, and he responded within 5 minutes. It was super helpful. So, yeah, if you need something like that, we need guys like this that sell these old parts. And like I said earlier, yeah, it's Snap on, it's got a lifetime warranty, but I don't have an account with Snap on. I've never bought off of Snap. I bought a couple tools off of Snap on over the years, but for me to go on the truck and say, "Hey, will you warranty this 50-year-old uh, Impact?" Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's some guys that would, and some guys would probably tell you to go pound sand. But I think it's gonna be fun to do the repair myself anyway, and it didn't cost that much. So got um, I picked up the Impact cheap, and the repair kit's cheap. We're gonna have a nice little 3/8 Impact when we're done with it. Be like brand new. May even give it a paint job. I don't know. I would like to find. I've seen some that have like the rubberized grip on these old IM31s. If you know where to pick up the grip for it, put it down in the comments and let me know. Let me know. Yeah. So I've got a video of us taking that apart. If you're interested in if you've never seen one apart, go check that out because it's kind of cool. And we'll definitely do a video putting it back together for you guys. If you're out in the chat, say hello. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Yeah. Always oil your air tools before use. They usually say that on there. This old Snap-on doesn't say it though. Let me minimize this. Yeah, it doesn't say anywhere on here. I guess they assume if you're spending that kind of money on a tool that you know how to take care of it. Now this old Snap-on, it adjusts. You can adjust the torque with this knob right here. That controls your chooch factor. So Yeah, and I learned today the difference between the IM31 and the IM31A is they made some improvements in the A, and uh 25 pound feet, whatever you say it, more torque in this one. So and the parts are different. So if you're gonna rebuild one, make sure that you get the right parts um, for each one. And this guy is really crystal clear in his description about what part kit you're getting and what it's for. So yeah, go check him out. Snap on obsolete Restomod air tools. And I'm gonna try to get him on the channel because I think that's a pretty interesting business he's got there. You know, it's one of those niches that we need. We need guys like that. So support those guys. And if you buy something from them and it works good for you, leave a review. Um, or if you buy something from somebody on eBay and it's bad, leave a review because otherwise we don't know. Help out the next guy. You know, that's how we do it. Um, oh, I also bought got some denatured alcohol because I want to run some of this through my Coleman stoves. We picked up that lantern the other day. Let me grab that real quick. Yeah, we picked up one of these guys. This one, in case you don't know, you can tell when they're made. It'll be stamped on the bottom. This one's circa 1979. It's got the original globe to it. It's been cracked, but repaired. Um, Need to pop a couple new mantles in there, but she does work. We fired it up the other day. So yeah, that's good stuff. One tool I've been looking for at the swap meets and stuff is I want like a 1 ounce or a 2 ounce ball peen hammer for the gun bench, and haven't been able to find one. I could go get one new, but I'd rather find one for like $1 somewhere. Um, yeah, your ball peen. I got the third degree one time. I was working on a rifle and I tapped the sight over with this ball peen hammer, and oh my goodness, clutched their pearls like I had hung somebody. Guys, polish the face of your hammer because whatever is on your hammer face will transfer to whatever you hit. And if you're just giving it the old tappy tap tap, if as long as your hammer face is polished and smooth, you're gonna be okay. It'll be okay. Um, but yeah, get a brass hammer um, and do the tap tap tap. I just had this one here, and then just a little. I promise nobody was hurt in that in that operation. Um, yeah, the other thing I picked up today was this old air chuck, man. She just finally wore plumb out. So I picked up one of those cheap Merlin jobs at the Harbor Freight. And I promise you, it's got to be better than this one. And I've had more trouble with air gauges lately. This one's for the big truck stuff. It starts at 20 pounds, and when I'm working on a garden tractor or something like that, it's not the best. So I did pick up another air gauge. I'm not familiar with any of this Merlin stuff, so I'll let you know. But I needed something that was somewhat accurate. I had one the other day. I don't know if I still have it laying here on the bench or not, but it was of the slime variety. I think that you pick up at the O'Reilly's or the Napa or wherever. And I went and put it on that valve stem, and the gauge snapped off. The head of it just snapped right off. Garbage, just garbage. Y'all are kind of quiet out there tonight. Country Rimfire, what you been up to, man? Yeah, we got a few people I hadn't seen in a while. Scotrod for sure. He's been working his tail off, burning the candle at both ends, trying to provide. That's what we got to do sometimes. You just got to work like mad and get her done. Get her done. So I'm gonna open up these here Pittsburgh ratchets. What do we got going on here? Oh, they put a screw on here so you couldn't steal them. We'll open these up and give them the inspection. This is a tool that I bought new. Not very rarely do, and I actually gave it a little bit better finish than it had from the factory. These are Felo, Felo. I like these because they've got the nut on them, so you can put a wrench on there. They're full tank, so you can give them the old tappy tap tap if you need to. Yeah, sometimes when you're working with these old uh, screws that have been in like a firearm for a long time, it's good to get it in there, give it a tap, get it set down in that screw head, and then turn it. That way you're not stripping out that stuff. Why we ended up with Phillips, I will never know. Robertson is a lot better. Torx, a lot better. Uh, Phillips, man, they have stripped so many screws with this design. Now, if you got good bits, a good Phillips head bit goes a long way. These are pretty good. They're not the best. The ones that came in this multi-bit are much better grind on them. And I don't know if you guys will really even be able to tell, but these are tons better. All right, let's see. Charlene says, I've seen some will use a rubber band in between a screw and a screwdriver if they're stripped screw. Would that prevent stripping? Yeah, I've seen some people do that. Yeah. And if you do mess one up, especially with like a slot screw, go over to Mark Novak's channel. He's got a video on how to repair these old screws that get boogered up in firearms. Man, you can clean one up so it looks like brand new, and not even have to re-blue it. That's wild. That's one of the best videos I've seen pertaining to firearms. It's how to fix those screws. So yeah, with the Pittsburgh Chinesium ratcheting wrench, the quality does not feel all that great. But like I said, I'm not a professional mechanic, but there are times when I have wished I had one of these ratcheting wrenches. So we'll give them a whirl and report back to you as to whether they were worth the $20 per set, or if we should have spent the next step up was 80 or 90 bucks. So I don't know. I think you've got to pick and choose where you spend your money on tools. If you're a home gamer, DIY kind of guy like me, then you probably don't need $150 set of ratcheting wrenches. This is the 3/4. Yeah. So we'll put these in the box, and they will get used. It's kind of like these guys, the uh, flare nut wrench set. So you get over pipe. Um, don't use them very often. So what we buy? We went with the Pittsburgh variety because we're not working on that kind of stuff all the time. But when you need them, you need them. So spend your money where it's going to give you the most value. That's what I would say. Like I say, if you're a mechanic and you're going to have an impact in your hand all day, or a 3/4 inch or a 3/8 inch ratchet, then get you a good one. But don't buy all your stuff off the truck starting out. You don't need to. Build you up a cash pile first. Um, that reminds me, and I've been wanting to talk about this, and so here we are. I for a few years ran a landscape company, and that was one mistake that I made when I did that. Is I thought I needed all the best equipment starting out, and let me tell you, as long as those blades are sharp and that motor's spinning, that grass is going to get cut, and you can make sometimes you can make just as much money with a 5-horse push mower and a good weed eater than you can with a big old $2,000 Toro commercial grade mower and weed eater. And you start thinking about how many yards you got to cut just to pay for your equipment. Build up your cash pile first. That's how you do it. I promise you. Yeah. You don't need all the best stuff when you're starting out. Once you've been in it for a while, and then you buy some nicer stuff as you go along, as you need it. You'll learn where you need to spend your money. What equipment is most important. You'll figure it out, because there's a lot of stuff you don't need to spend a bunch of money on. Let's see. There was something else. Oh, yeah. So we've been working on this old 4D Maglite. You guys remember these? Back in the 80s and 90s, every cop in the world had one of these on their belt. And it wasn't because it was a bright light. I mean, they were they were bright, but these things, spleen splitters, man. If you see a cop carrying one of these today, tread lightly, because these things are heavy. And that's actually why I bought this. I bought this to put in the truck door. For me and my wife, um, as a flashlight, but it serves the dual purpose. But I've got Coca-Cola in here right now because the batteries had sat in here so long that there was like that much corrosion built up on top of those batteries. And I'm hoping that Coca-Cola kind of eats some of that away. Let's take a look and see. It's been sitting in there a couple days now. Yeah, let me wipe this out just a little bit. I picked this thing up for next to nothing. It'll cost more to put batteries in it than what I paid for it. Put it that way. Uh, yeah, it looks a lot better now than it did. I don't know if you get you a glimpse in there, but you see all that corrosion and those batteries just sitting in there for years. You grab a pick and see if we can clean some of that out. Yeah, it's starting to loosen up. Golly, what a mess. Good thing about these lights though is they're serviceable. I mean, you can get parts for them. When I made a video about it the other day, I hashtagged Maglite. I thought, well, maybe they'll warranty it. It's got a lifetime warranty, limited, limited lifetime warranty. But I think we're gonna have to whack this thing with a hammer. See if we can get that loosened up. This variety. Nope, not yet. Not yet. Well, I guess we could pick on it some more. Brett Martinez, what's up, buddy? How are you, man? Appreciate you dropping in to say hello. We're just talking tools tonight. Went by the Harbor Freight, bought a couple things. Got a retractable air hose contraption. Got tired of fighting that air hose, you know? Gets in the way. Bought some Pittsburgh ratcheting wrenches. A couple little things like that. Went to the big city with Pop. And made a trip to the Lowe's. Big deal for old country boy like me. Get out to the big city. We tend to stay around here. I found if you don't leave, you don't spend money. You know that? You can stay home and save a bunch of money. Anytime you walk in those stores, though, whew, Harbor Freight, they get me every time. Every time. Man, I can feel these lower batteries are loose. I can feel them in there. We just got to get that top one out. 'Cause it is crammed up in there. Man, if you got a suggestion, put it down in the comments. But for now, Coca-Cola it is. We'll just keep putting that in there. Coca-Cola eat through a nail. So maybe it'll eat through all that corrosion. It's a mess. If I'd known it was that bad, I probably wouldn't have bought it. Yeah. Other things, if you're just joining in, a couple other things that we got this week is we ordered in some Nebo clip lights. I wear these, either wear them here, or if I got my cap turned around, I wear them on the bill. And they're nice because you can point them down and you're working on something. They give you let you see better, you know? And they just help a lot. Last one I had, I wore plumb out. The mechanism right here, this is what wears out. They get loose and they won't stay where you want them forever. But I think a 2-pack of these now, it's like $25, something like that. I'm a big fan of Nebo. I've got a bunch of their lights. I probably got some out here. Yeah, here. This is what started me on Nebo, is the Nebo Slim. This thing has been through the war. Magnet on the bottom, magnet on the back. It's got a clip, and it'll hang. So the Nebo Slim. I don't know if they still make the Slim or not, but this has been a great light. And Nebos are affordable. There's some other good brands out there too. Olight and Streamlight, but they're a little pricey. I don't know. I've been happy with the Nebo, but we got another one here. Big old shop light, work light. This thing will light up the world. I don't know how many lumens this one is. Plus, it's got a power bank on it, so you can recharge stuff with it, which comes in handy. This is a good one to like keep in your truck, you know. Get on the side of the road in the dark and you got to change a tire or work on something. Big old light like this, and plus being able to, you know, you need to emergency charge your phone or whatever. That's a good one, and of course it's got magnets here, so that's pretty handy dandy. The other thing you need to keep in your shop, first aid kit. Keep one in your truck too. And the other thing is fire extinguisher. And make sure it's still got a charge in it. Keep one of these in the shop and keep one in your vehicle. They're not that expensive. Matter of fact, if you can find, so there's companies that service those for like car dealerships and different businesses. If you can get a hold of one of those people, those things have like a shelf life. They can only be used in a business for a certain amount of time, and then they're no longer certified. Just say, hey, you got any those fire extinguishers that you got to get rid of? And man, they'll just give them to you. They'll charge it up and give them to you for nothing. So that's the best way to get them. If you know somebody that works at a car dealership or something like that, where somebody comes in and certifies the fire extinguishers, get a hold of them because they'll give you one and fill it up for you. But yeah, carry one of those in your vehicle and carry one. Um, keep one in your shop, in your house too. So that fire extinguisher can sure get you out of a hot spot real quick. I was going down the road one day and there was this little grass fire that had just started up uh, right close to our house. And I pulled over. I had my fire extinguisher, and we got that grass fire put out. Because man, it was dry. It was worst time of year, and if that thing had spread with the wind going, it could have burned the whole mountain down. And that's happened before around here. So don't mean to harp on it, but if you don't have fire extinguisher in your car, in your shop, in your house, get you one. Be responsible. Be be the one that is there to help save the day when nobody else can. So, Brett, glad to have you in this evening, man. I'm trying to look and see what that flag is in the background. I can't quite make it out. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's about it. We're gonna get our pliers rack in the old 5 drawer tomorrow. Get it organized a little bit. And install our new flap wheel on one of our grinders here in the shop. These things are super handy. Yeah, you get some rust off of something or whatever. Definitely worth having. And then we'll get into the parts. I've got a couple more things I'm waiting on for the snap off 3/8 impact, but we're gonna do a video showing you. And I still got some cleaning up to do on the inside of it, as you can see. But we'll get her all polished up, and that's one nice thing about these high-end impacts is they're fully serviceable. You just got to be able to find parts for them. And again, if you need parts for one of those, hop over there to the eBay. And this guy, he's got parts for all the old Snap-on stuff, all the old Snap-on Air stuff. All right. Be real, NZ. Are you in New Zealand or what? So most of my firearms clicked. Well, I'm part of the Remington Society of America. Do some work for them, so I have quite a few Remingtons, old Winchesters, Colts. I do have some, ARs and AKs and that kind of stuff, but I shoot a lot of rimfire. So yeah, I can talk for days about rimfire rifles, CZ and shoots, Marlin, Glenfield, little Savage, geez, all kinds. I have a few shotguns. Not a big shotgun shooter, but do have a few, and of course pistols. Yeah, I was talking to somebody. Um, trying to remember now. They were talking about that over there. Don't have access to semi-autos anymore. And somebody, I think it was maybe it was TJ Fishing out of Australia, said they can't bow hunt anymore. So, man, I feel for you there. We I guess we're very fortunate here in America that in most states, not all states, um, we have the right to own, collect, and carry, use, hunt with, target, shoot with, protect ourselves with firearms of all sorts. Um, I enjoy the collecting part of it, like the fellowship of people go to gun shows, part of a couple different organizations, and get to meet a lot of really neat people. And I love the history of firearms. So I think a lot of people that maybe aren't real familiar with firearms or haven't been around them um, have a misconception about what a lot of the firearms community is about. Um, there's bad apples out there that do bad things with them, but man, the majority of people that I've come across in my life, um, they're just fantastic people, and they just enjoy the shooting sport, whether it be target practice or um, shooting plays, um, you know, or just collecting them because of the rarity or the historical value. Um, there's some firearms I have that I just marvel at how they were made. I mean, way back, in the 30s or early 1900s, what these guys were able to do with the tools that they had at their disposal at the time, um, the craftsmanship that went into them. I just have a real appreciation for what those guys could make um, with the tools they had. It's just unbelievable. And I've got firearms that are, you know, 100 years old that still function flawlessly today and probably will for hundreds more years as long as they're taken care of. Um, so, yeah, I wish you guys had the. I talk to people in other countries, and yeah, they're jealous that they can't collect like we can, and they kind of have to live vicariously through some of these channels on YouTube, and um, so I guess that's part of why I enjoy doing this is because, and even in some of the states here, people aren't able to collect everything that they want to collect, or they have limitations on what they can own and what they can shoot and where they can shoot and where they can hunt and um, uh, I just most people I know are just law-abiding citizens that enjoy the sport and enjoy collecting. And I mean, a lot of people I know um, won't even hunt. They just enjoy target shooting or they just enjoy collecting. Um, so, but yeah, if you're interested in seeing some interesting firearms, Monday the 7th, we're gonna have um, a live stream with some really rare firearms that you just won't see very often. Um, so we invite you to join us for that because it's going to be fun. Um, and be some really good dudes on there too. And we invite the dudettes as well, uh, males and females, or whatever. We're happy to have you. So good to meet you. Be real out of New Zealand. I've heard that's such a beautiful country. And the pictures I've seen of it are just gorgeous. And I know you guys have like great health care and um, you got a lot going for you over there for sure. But yeah, it's too bad you can't collect a semi-auto or own a semi-auto. I think somebody was even saying some places you can't have a slingshot, which is wild. Yeah, I'd love to. I would, man. Go to New Zealand. I've actually never been outside the continental United States. Gosh, it's so big. There's so much to see here. Um, but yeah, there's a few places in the world I'd like to travel to. New Zealand would be one. I think Japan would be a pretty cool place to go see. Um, where else? I don't know. Maybe maybe somewhere like Saudi Arabia. I don't know. It'd be so different from where we are, you know. Just to see how different cultures and different foods. I mean, even in the United States and like Canada, uh, you get to see uh, different ways people live and eat and gather about. When I was in Canada, really nice people up there, by the way. Everybody's so polite. Um, but yeah, they've been cracking down on them a little bit when it comes to firearms and stuff. But yeah, got to uh, try some new beers and poutine. Poutine's like this thing up there in Canada. So it's fries covered in gravy with cheese curds. And when I first moved there, I thought, oh, that just sounds disgusting. And I lived there for probably a year before I finally broke down and tried some. And man, it was delicious. They were right. It was really good stuff. Really good stuff. So yeah, that was kind of my day. Had a big day. Got to go to the big city and hang out with Pop. You know, the older you get, the more you enjoy spending time with your parents because they're not going to be here forever, and we might not be. So cherish each day and tell those around you that you love them. It's okay to say that. It's okay. Tell them you love them. We had some fellowship the other morning last week. We were talking Luke 24, one of my favorite chapters in the Bible. Um, so we do that from time to time on here as well. So if you're into that, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. We get into all kinds of stuff over here, and always glad to have new people to visit with. Have a good night, bro. Tune in again. Thank you, man. Appreciate you dropping in and saying hello. And we'll catch you on another one. Come see us Monday. It'll be 6 o'clock U.S. Central. Not sure what time that is in the New Zealand, but yeah, come check it out because there's gonna be some cool firearms on there, and learn some stuff. Learn some stuff. Surrender Park says, "Amen." Yes, hallelujah. Yeah, I'm working on a sermon for next weekend. Gonna be getting into that. Thank you, bro. Have a good evening. Stay safe. Well, God bless you. Yeah, Surrender Park. So we're going to be talking a little bit about how none of us are perfect, right? So the only perfect man that ever existed was our Lord Jesus Christ. And we need to remember that because it's easy for people to get pushed away from the church because they feel like they're being judged, Like we all have our flaws and we all have things that we need to work on. But we shouldn't let that keep us from um, the fellowship and um, developing a relationship with Christ. And the other part of that is just because you're not perfect, just because you've got flaws and you've got things that you need to work on, doesn't mean that you shouldn't talk about the Lord Jesus Christ with everybody. If that's what you believe, like you know, that's important. And some people, somebody said the other day, maybe you shouldn't talk about that stuff on your channel. And people think you're preaching at them. And I don't care. If I want to talk about Jesus on my channel, I'm going to. And if it makes people upset, that's fine. I understand. I'm not pushing it on anybody, but it's important to me. And it's something that I care dearly about. So I'm going to talk about Lord Jesus Christ on this channel. And you don't have to tune in for that. If you just like the gun content, then come watch the gun content. If you just like the tool stuff, come watch the tool stuff. I'm not telling you to buy in to the whole thing. This is just me, and this is my channel, and I share the things that I enjoy. I enjoy firearms, I enjoy tools, I enjoy gardening, cooking, um, and I enjoy talking about the Lord. So, you know, take what you want from it, and you can leave what you don't want. That's okay. You don't have to like every aspect of somebody to enjoy certain aspects of them. We don't have to agree on everything. And I know that it's hard for some people in today's society because society wants you to pick a side. They want you to be divided, but we don't have to be. We can still have conversations. We can disagree. It's okay to disagree. It's healthy to disagree. And I invite people to have difficult conversations. Um, I have somebody really close to me that we just disagree on things politically, but the differences are not that big, and but it seems to create a chasm with them, um, and they have a hard time having conversations about politics because they're really passionate about their side of it, and that's fine. But when it creates a situation where you can't have a conversation about it, then I think that's unhealthy, and it's unfortunate. We really should be able to have conversations where we disagree, because that's how you solve things. Um, and there seems to be a lack of that in society now, where it's hard for people to talk to people that they disagree with. Um, I don't know. Hopefully we get better at that. I certainly hope that gets better. Unfortunately, politics has been a great divider of people for a long time. When I was growing up, we didn't talk about politics that much. It was kind of you talked about it in your house, but you didn't talk about it out in public. Like you didn't really tell people who you voted for. It was just kind of a personal thing. Like you went into the ballot box and you cast your vote. But now with media, yeah, they shove it down your throat constantly. They want you divided and upset with people, and um, it's unfortunate, man. Because I promise, there's not much difference between most people, but they'll take a little tiny issue and make a giant thing out of it and pit. They want they want two groups fighting against each other, and I promise you, 90% of those politicians up there, I don't care what letter they have in front, whether it's a R or a D or an I or whatever, uh, there ain't a frog's hair difference between most of them. They're like a windsock. They'll blow whichever way the wind blows, and whatever keeps them in office. That's what they'll champion. Matter of fact, I was watching. I saw this clip the other day of Tucker Carlson talking to Ted Cruz, and man, he just called him straight out on the carpet on a couple things because he was just lying. But anyway, we don't talk politics on here. There's enough channels out there to talk that crap. You can go find somebody who wants to drum that up. We like to talk about fun stuff like tools, guns, America. I'm just kidding, guys. I got I got subscribers from all over the world. Some of my favorite ones. So I'll tell you what, it's we've been on here an hour and 30 now, so I'm starting to sweat a little bit, and I think I'm gonna call it a day. But I appreciate you guys joining me out here tonight, and I enjoy the comments, and I pray that you guys are well, that your families are well, and God bless you. Keep us in your prayers, and we'll see you next time. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.